Two and a Half Chicks is back, and we have missed you. Question for you. Have you ever wanted to talk or joke openly about the subject of sex, and you just thought, ooh, maybe this subject is just too taboo, or you can't really gauge the crowd you're with? But it's a really great thing to talk about. It's such a big part of our lives. It's a huge part of our relationships, and it's helpful sometimes. I mean, sometimes you can get advice from somebody who's going through something similar, or maybe it can help you break new ground because there's something you didn't know. Or you can just laugh about embarrassing moments. So we've created a space to do just that. We feature a guest today who's going to help us give it to you straight about the subject of sex. We're going to kick this season off with a bang. A bang. You see what I did there? We are here to talk about sex. I know we've talked about sex before. I know we have. But we've talked all around the subject of sex. We've talked about sex toys and sex in movies and all kinds of... Somehow we always get back to the topic of sex. But today we want to actually talk about sex. We want to talk about the craziest place you've had sex, sexual acts you've done, what are the best positions for sex, what are the best places to have sex, what are the adventurous ways to have sex, like whatever. That's what we want to talk about today. I'm sure it'll be very entertaining.
All right. How you want to jump this off here? What do you want to talk about? Because want me to talk about the first time I had sex? I could talk about that.
Why don't you kick us off with that? I think that's great.
My first attempt at sex was on January. I actually remember the date, January 27, 1986. Her parents were out of town.
86. That would put you at 16?
16.
Not quite.
Yeah, 16. So her parents were out of town. They were at a house in the Poconos. So I remember putting on the condom, and then I tried to penetrate, and I can only assume that she was nervous because it was really literally clammed up. I could not penetrate this thing. It was impenetrable. It was like there was a force field there.
I can't blame her for that.
Yeah. I can't blame her either, right? I was nervous. I couldn't stop feeling the sultry yet approving eyes of John Bon Jovi's life-size poster on the wall.
Was she your age?
She was actually like 6 months older than me or something like that. But she was,
your age, okay.
Yeah. So I actually remember John Bon Jovi's Never Say Goodbye was playing on the radio. So that's how vivid it was for me. So it didn't really work out. So the actual first time I had sex was the next day. We were in the backseat of her. Yes.
I was going to say a year later. Or
no, it was the next day. So we went to the back of her mom's Buick Regal, right? And she had this white Buick Regal, red velour. Remember that velour material people used to put on their seats for some dumb reason? Like car dealers and manufacturers put that stuff on seats. They didn't think about anybody. Yeah, but they didn't think about anybody having sex back there, right? Because I'll tell you what, even though it was extremely comfortable and, that velourish beauty, for a 16-year-old's male ejaculation, it really did not stand up too well. Not to mention, the female, snail marks.
Snail marks.
Oh.
I'm sorry, that's what they are.
Okay.
So,
right.
so it was, like I said, I do remember being it was it was a curious moment, right? Your first time, right? I recall it was tender at first. Then there was the awkwardness, the quirky putting on a condom, because we were in the backseat of a car now, right? Now we're parked on the side of the road, and I'm worried that a cop's going to show up, some curious kid, throwing the ball around, is going to come up and see us and look through the window. So it was nerve-wracking. And then I remember how soft and smooth and wet that vagina felt. And I remember it didn't last long, right? 2 minutes. If it lasted 2 minutes, that was long, right? And then I remember when I released it, everything happened in my life changed. It felt like 1,000 moments from past lives, just basically thrust themselves into my brain all at once. I had this crazy weird feeling. And then I said, oh, where's the wrap? Where's the condom? I looked down, there was no condom.
Oh.
So yeah, it was crazy, right? So now we're looking on the floor. Yeah, we're looking on the floor. We're looking on our clothes that we just halfway pulled off. And, we see the wrapper. We just don't see the clothes. So now we're thinking, oh shit, we're both come to the realization there's only one place this thing could be. So she had to reach up there, and there it was.
Oh.
So she had to pull it out. So now, not only was my first time in the backseat of a car, and I was nervous to start, but now I'm already thinking, oh, she's pregnant. Because I didn't know much about sex, right? So all of that joy and that pleasure and everything. Yeah, it was crazy, right? And it just brought upon more panic, right? And I'm in the backseat and I'm getting yelled at, This thing broke, you didn't put it on right. So my beautiful moment was, I was traumatized after that, right? And the last thing I remember when she dropped me off after like thinking, okay, we're gonna have to just deal with this was I just don't see the colors of the world the same anymore. It felt like I actually like matured at 16 real quick for having sex.
That's kind of interesting. Like, sex as a teenager is much different than sex later in life. It's kind of noteworthy how nerve-wracking the whole thing is. I had a parking experience once. I didn't have sex. It was before I had sex. But it was this famous place in California where people went to park. And I was up there parking. I was in my boyfriend's Mustang, 1960-something Mustang. It was a nice car. And we were doing all kinds of stuff in the back seat. And I was in various states of undress. I don't even remember where I was dressed and where I wasn't. And somebody pulls up to the car and starts flashing a camera. And I freaked out. I'm like, what the fuck? Who's that? Like, totally freaked out. Found out later it was a friend of his who saw his car and went up and did that just to, like, fuck around with him. The windows were fogged. They didn't get anything, but it was freaked me out as, like, a 16, 17-year-old girl. Maybe 17. I don't even know how old I was. But anyway, it's just different. That nerves, the car thing. Like, you don't know what you're doing. It's just different.
Because you're not supposed to be having sex in those years, right? You're supposed to. Your
It's
parents
wrong.
don't want you having sex, so yeah, it's wrong. So you're hiding. Most of the time, you're hiding from your parents. In those days, you were hiding from your peers, especially as females test, because we were called certain things if they found out we were like doing all those things and stuff. So,
well, Monica, I disagree.
Exciting.
I think you're supposed to be having sex with teenagers. You're just supposed to not have kids.
I agree. I agree, Brian.
Oh, Brian.
I agree.
I love you. Kevin, let's hear from you, buddy.
So what happened, it was spring break of 2001, I think it was. Maybe 2000. I was 15, and my buddy called me up, and he was trying to brag, and he's like, guess what I just did? I just fingered a girl. I'm like, yeah, well, I'm going to have sex tomorrow. And he's like, bullshit. And so I called up this girl that I was friends with that lived down the street, and she was kind of known to be, a floozy, as you old folks would call it.
Okay, that's old folks. I love that.
Folks. Oh, yeah. Thanks, Kevin. Thanks,
It
Kevin.
didn't give it away when he said he was 15 in 2001.
We were already married by then.
I called her up the next day, and I walked down the street. She lived right down the street. I walked down to her place. We were watching the movie Clerks on this pull-out couch. And I was like, so what do you want to do? And she's like, I don't know. What do you want to do? And so we just started making out, taking clothes off, ended up having sex during the movie. And I don't know if you've ever seen Clerks, but it's a funny movie.
Kevin, we saw Clerks before you were born, okay? Just so you know.
All right, you don't have to double down on the whole old age thing, Brian.
Well, I was just trying to think to myself, well, the most interesting point of this story is the Clerks part. So go ahead.
So what makes this a very special occasion or part of my life outside of me losing my virginity, this is also the first time I came while being awake because I never masturbated before that.
Whoa.
What?
No way.
No masturbation,
Really?
No oral, none of that.
Whoa.
So 3 minutes afterwards, I feel this euphoric sensation, and I pass out inside. And I wake up to her tapping me on the shoulder, going, Kevin, no. Huh? What?
Oh my God, that's awesome. Hold me.
What was that? What was that?
So it'd probably be another year and a half, 2 years before I was actually able to do it myself. So I was having sex on a frequent basis without ever doing it myself.
But why? So curious.
Why?
Why didn't you do it
wasn't
yourself?
I able to do it? I just wasn't able to. I tried before I lost.
Wait, you couldn't jerk off? Is that what you're telling us?
So yeah.
I would
So
sit
wait.
there and I'd look at Playboys and be like, I don't know, like, what is like nothing's happening. It's
Well,
just
maybe you should have
hard
looked
and
at Playgirl.
So wait a minute. So you just didn't. You weren't motivated.
I'd be
you weren't
sitting there
excited.
and I'd be going to town and it's just nothing's happening.
All right.
Were you pulling on the right appendage? I know you were drinking. I don't know when you started. When did it start the drinking? Maybe you're pulling on the wrong thing.
Years before, I was probably like 11 or 12 years old.
Okay.
Damn, Kev.
I'm kidding. I didn't start heavily drinking until my 20s.
So you had sex at 15-ish, and then...
Yeah. Well, everything happened backwards. Like, I had sex for the first time. Then after that, I got my first blowjob. Then after that, I got my first hand job. And then I was able to masturbate.
He Benjamin buttoned his penis. Wow. Nice, Kev.
Okay. Oh, shit. What was my question? Because we had a conversation about this before. Is it worth it to get the hand job by somebody else rather than yourself?
Ooh, good question.
Right? Because we've had this conversation before, like, of whether or not girls should steer clear of that, or guys, or whatever, like, so whatever your thing is, if they should steer clear of that, or if it's worth it to get a hand job by somebody else.
I think it depends on what you're trying to achieve. Like, if you're trying to get to completion, then I'll do it myself.
This sounds professional here.
Yeah, that sounds professional.
No.
So wait a minute. Would you just want someone to just jerk you off to not achieve ejaculation?
No, I'm saying I won't come if somebody else is doing it. Like, I'm gonna be I don't. The last time I came from a blowjob was probably when I was 17 years old.
Wow, Kevin. Have you ever been to a dirty massage parlor?
No, but you know what? I live in Brooklyn now, and every single massage parlor that says foot massage or foot rub, I know what's happening. There's a 24-hour place down the street from my ex-girlfriend, and it was just like neon lights, open 24 hours, foot rubs. I'm like, I'm gonna stop in there one day.
Well, my point being is if you want to have an ejaculation from a hand job, go there. That's what I'm trying to say.
All right.
What you're saying, Kevin, is your answer would be no. Your answer would be no then. That a woman cannot give just as good as a man does it to himself.
Job. Yeah.
No.
It sounds like that.
I would say that it feels good, but I don't think that you're going to get carpal tunnel if you're trying to finish me off.
Well, with Kevin, you also drink a lot. He also, look at him. He's drinking a beer right now.
You've numbed yourself.
Okay, sorry, I interject there. So back to your story. Was there a story? Yeah. There was a story. I just forgot where we left off.
Tequila.
Sorry.
We left off with me breaking everybody's brains with my magical penis.
Yeah.
You passing out.
Yeah. That's where
Kevin had sex.
Yeah,
it was so euphoric, he passed out.
She was very upset. Well, she wasn't upset that time that I came inside of her. The next couple times, she was very upset about that.
Was she your age?
She was about a year older than I was.
Okay.
But no, that was probably that summer too. Yeah.
Same person?
No. I only had sex with her 3 times, and the third time I didn't even want to.
Oh.
But you're a 15-year-old boy. It's like
the fact that you just said you didn't even want to. And you're a 15-year-old boy. You fucking tree knot.
I mean, we'll just put it as she was a nice person, but this wasn't.
Okay. They're the best kind, Kev, by the way. Crazy's the best.
Brian knows.
Yes, crazy is what I meant.
Yes. Well, thanks for sharing that experience with us, Kev. We appreciate that. Sometimes a lot of people don't like to talk about sex, and especially the first time, but, we appreciate your honesty and everything.
Talking about it.
Well,
stick around. Monica, let's hear it.
I don't want you guys to feel sorry for me, but truth is that I had my first orgasm in a dream. I had what I think was a wet dream or female version of a wet dream. So, as you guys know, I've been having sex since I was 13. I told you guys that before. With a boy who was about my age. He was my first, actually. But I never had, I guess these guys didn't know what they were doing. And
a 13-year-old boy not knowing
shocking, Monica. Yeah. That's ridiculously shocking. I can't believe that.
I know. So for probably up until I was in my 20s, I didn't know what an orgasm was. Seriously. So one day, because I actually dated a stripper, everyone.
Wait, wait.
Monica, wait, Monica. A guy just taking
stripper.
off his clothes to take a shower is not a stripper. You're talking, right?
He was a dancer. He was a male dancer.
Where do you meet those?
Also, I think you should add the age if you're talking about a 13-year-old boy.
No, he was in college. He was
just for money for
an exotic dancer to pay for college. Yeah. He
How
was hot.
cliche, Monica.
Okay, so I have to say that my favorite thing to do with him was to be on top because I could see his chest.
Oh, you like the chest.
And I love the chest.
I remember that.
Was it a big hairy chest, Monica?
No, because he had to shave for his job. He had
Not
to
at that
shave
age
for
anyway.
his job.
This is the 80s?
No, damn, I'm not that old.
Look, I don't know.
90s.
Because I'm literally,
This was the 90s.
I'm just imagining the saxophone player from that scene from The Lost Boys. So
Jesus, no.
he has a whole curly mullet and everything.
Now you just put that image in my head. I appreciate it. Now that's who Monica had sex with.
You were wanting to get hard by the end of the episode. Now you got it.
So I didn't have an orgasm until one day or one night, really. I was having a dream about him, like a vivid dream about having sex with him. And in that dream, I had an orgasm because I woke up completely sweaty and like the sheets were all like stuck on me. And I was like, what the fuck just happened?
That's a
I was like, what
perfect
the fuck was
description,
that?
Monica.
I'm like, I didn't know what it was because my mom had never talked to me about that. I did not know what it was. I just know it. I was like, whoa, like, where did that come from? I had a real one years later. But yeah.
Well, for
A
the
real
record,
orgasm?
Monica, I don't think by
But
a
I
show
still
of hands,
kept having sex.
I don't think
still liked
anybody's mom told them what wet dreams were.
Yeah.
My mom.
No.
did.
Well,
Oh,
what
wow.
Yeah, my mom's a pervert.
No, my mom never
Oh.
told me what orgasm was. That's what I meant, Brian. I didn't know what
sorry,
an
okay.
orgasm was.
Maybe she didn't know what one was.
Yeah, it's probably true.
oh,
That's
that
sad,
could be
but true.
Yeah.
Damn, Kevin, you just
true.
brought everybody down.
Yeah. You're welcome. Oh man.
I've always liked men. Always. You know, even though I'm very reserved, like men very much.
You're saying you like sex, is what you're saying. I really like sex.
I did, even though I didn't have an orgasm. Could you believe that?
Yeah,
I never
believe
had an
that.
orgasm,
Still feels
and I
good.
still liked it.
Yeah.
Still
Yeah,
feels
it
good
does feel
internally.
good. Yeah, it
Yeah.
does. It does.
I think it's called edging now.
Yes, it is called edging. You think you just needed to let all of our male listeners to know, Monica, it's okay if you guys don't orgasm.
No,
is
Brian.
not
I've
okay.
learned it. Not okay,
is
not anymore.
not okay.
Wait, straighten that out. Straighten that edging comment out. It's not edging if you're not climbing. That's not having an orgasm is not edging. Okay. I played a lot with that. That is not edging. Still a good experience, Monica, right?
Was it, though? Was it a good experience at the moment, at the time? Your first
It was.
Because everybody
Right,
says for the girls it's painful. Was it painful?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Really? It wasn't painful for you your first time at that age?
He was 13, Tess. Exactly. He was 13. Come on.
I had a similar experience, Brian, to your experience when I tried to have sex for the first time and it didn't work.
You clammed up?
Yeah, he couldn't enter me. I couldn't do it. I was really young and I tried to have sex and it didn't work. And I didn't try again for 4 more years.
Wow. I was
How old
proud
were
of
you,
myself
Tess?
at that moment. I thought it was because of my
I was-
penis size.
No,
It wasn't. The next day proved it wasn't.
I was 14, Monica, when I first tried, and it didn't work. And then I didn't have sex until I was 18. I did a lot of other stuff, but I didn't actually have penetration until I was 18. And it's not a worthwhile story. I don't want to say it wasn't memorable. It's not that it wasn't memorable, but I don't think it's, it was my ex-husband, and I really wanted to have sex with my high school boyfriend, but it never happened. And so when I met my ex-husband, I was like primed and ready. I was like, let's do this. Like, I think I told him in a drunken stupor on our first date that I was on the pill, and that was it. Game over. Yeah, he's like, okay, that's a yes. I'm in. You know?
So wait a minute. You didn't have sex and you were on the pill.
I got on the pill to have sex with my ex-boyfriend, and then I ended up ending that relationship because I didn't think he was as in love with me as I was with him. And I was going to have sex with him to try and boost the relationship. And my mom said to me, because I talked to my mom about everything, she's like, you do not have sex with a man for that reason. You have sex to celebrate your feelings. You have sex to express your love. You do not have sex.
Shame on you, Aunt Chris.
You do not have sex to get a guy to get closer to you. They're already there, or they're not. And so I didn't have sex with him for that reason. And so then when I met my ex-husband, I was already on the pill because I was planning to have sex with the ex. And didn't happen. So, yeah, I was ready. I was ready. I was like beyond ready. So 18.
That's great
I was 18.
that you had a relationship like that with your mom, Tess. That's great. I did not have that relationship.
To deviate a little bit from the sex conversation, I was dating this guy, and he was in the Marine Corps at the time, and he would come home every now and again, and he didn't come home enough for me. I wanted to see him way more. And he came home one time, and he had chosen to see his friends instead of me. And my mom said, yeah, I know. And when he called, his friends decided to bring girls to the jacuzzi on a date. And my mom said to me, when he called, he said no to getting together with me because he's going to be together with his friends. Then when they decided to bring girls to the jacuzzi, he called me up. I wasn't his first choice. And my mom said, you are busy. And I'm like, what? I'm not busy. She goes, you are busy. She's like, you're never anyone's second choice. She goes, you are busy. And I'm like,
but wait, Tess, you were his first choice, just you weren't his first, male choice. You were his first female choice.
Nope. She's like, nope. He decided not to see you. He decided to go out with his friends. You are not his first choice. You are busy. And she goes, I don't care if you're home washing your hair, if you tell him what you're out, whatever, you're crying your eyes out, you are busy. So I did it just to get her off my back because I knew if I went out with him, I'd never hear the end of it. But she taught me a valuable lesson about that. But yeah, I talked to my mom about a lot, Monica. It was
for all you female listeners out there, just ignore everything Tessa's mom said. All that advice, just throw that out the window.
My mom taught me to be a strong female who commanded respect.
That's awesome.
I'm just shocked that she dated a Marine and they didn't end up getting married.
Yeah, looking for that 25-year pension. So, Kev, tell me about the craziest place you had sex.
Brian's like, let's amp this up a little bit, huh? Get off of all these romantic stories.
It's, that's a toughie.
Was it the same night you had the first time you had sex?
No.
That was a pull-out couch. That wasn't crazy.
It was a pull-out couch at her house. No, I'm somebody that does have the sex in public fetish.
Oh,
did you say public?
I wasn't expecting that to come
what?
out. Sex in public.
So okay.
It's something I'm very much into, and so I would say, all right. So Demetrius knows this one. So
was he there?
He's like,
Demetrius. What the hell?
He was.
It's the quiet ones. It's always the quiet ones.
You're taking this editing thing to a distance, buddy. You got to slow down a little bit. Okay, sorry. Go ahead, Kev.
So that's not all right. Sex in a car isn't the craziest place, but that is a good story. So I'll save that. I don't know. I've had sex in numerous bars. Like the first time I did it first time I did it was the second time I had sex with the girl that I lost my virginity to, and that was in a public bathroom in the park. Disgusting.
Oh, I've done that too.
But I was at this bar in Brooklyn when I was dating this girl, and my friends came in from Ohio to visit, so they're out there drinking, and we scurry off to the bathroom to go and fool around. A few minutes later, we come out, and there's this other couple. They're like, oh, we're just about to go in there and do the same thing. It's like, why the fuck are you telling us? Do you want to join? Do you want us to join?
I had that happen to me.
You're hanging out in Brooklyn and you're wearing fucking overall waders like you're gonna go fly fishing.
Shit. Sexy.
That's what Brooklyn does. It's fashionable.
Right.
Yeah, that's the word.
Monica, can you tell me about the craziest place you had sex?
Oh boy. There's quite a few. But I'm going to go with a place that none of you would ever think I would have had sex in. I went to a toy store with a boyfriend.
Toy store?
What kind of toy store?
Like adult toy store or Toys R Us?
Yes.
So,
that's what I'm thinking too.
Oh my God, I would be arrested right now if it was a kid's toy store. No, it was an adult
I'm like,
toy store.
she was banging on Jeffrey.
It was an adult toy store, and we bought a toy, and he decided that he wanted to go try the toy in one of the booths upstairs. So we went to the booth upstairs, and we had sex in the booth.
Oh man, that's awesome.
With the toy.
Yeah,
with the what kind of? You gotta tell us what the toy was.
Please tell me you bought the toy.
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what it was, but it was a Vivo. I think some kind of Vivo. It was a really good toy.
Like what, a
Isn't
vibrator?
that a place where you go rent places to stay?
So I didn't.
boat?
Okay, so I didn't want to sit in the chair that was there. Like I just
You're like
didn't want
gross.
to put
Somebody
It's
masturbated
gross.
in that chair a minute ago.
I didn't want to, and there were screens in the room with like women, like porn or whatever. I didn't want to. I looked at it, but I didn't really care for it. And I didn't want to touch the walls. So he volunteered to sit in this stool that was there. And
he volunteered.
He volunteered.
Yeah.
I'm thinking the same thing, Tess. He volunteered. It sounds like he was voluntold, is what it sounds like.
Yeah,
Voluntold. That's hilarious.
So yeah,
sounds like the kind of place where there'd be glory holes, doesn't it? Sounds a little dank and.
Oh my god! Oh my god! I didn't realize there was one in the room, and all of a sudden I saw somebody open the little door.
Called it.
And I was like, ah! And then they closed it right away because I screamed. So I told them, I said, we gotta get out of here. We gotta get out of here. Because somebody just saw us.
Wow. Oh, Monica, I did not expect that from you.
I will say this, though.
Me either.
I have been looking for that fucking stool for a long time now because that was a really good stool for somebody to sit on. It was a special stool. It had like a certain indentation so you could sit there, and it didn't have a backing. Like
Monica,
back.
It's a sex store, so they got some good stuff for sex, I'm sure.
I have to go. Maybe one day I have to go back and get that freaking stool. It's not like I would use it right now.
That's what came out of this whole story. You talked about the stool.
Yeah. It was a really
Monica.
good stool.
Well, she did answer the question. It was the craziest place she ever had sex, right? So she did answer the question.
I had a lot of crazy places, I guess to say. So obviously I grew up across the street from a bunch of woods and stuff like that. So we all had sex in the woods. I had sex on my girlfriend's lazy boy while her dad was in the same room with us. We were watching a movie and he was laying on the couch and I told her, go upstairs and cut a hole in your sweatpants. So I had shorts on, so I pulled them to the side. She came back down, sat on top of me in the rocker.
That's how short they were. You pulled them to the side.
This was like 1989. This is when gym shorts were short. Pulled it to the side. We put the blanket over us and we were rocking the chair, so I didn't have to do much work. So that was a pretty inventive place to have sex. But I, like you, Kevin, I've had sex in Porta-Johns at concerts in New York.
No.
Porta-John?
Yeah.
No, absolutely
those places reek.
I had sex at a Porta-John at a Tracy Chapman concert. Oh my God, that was great. So yes, multiple bathrooms and restaurants. I actually had a really great bathroom experience at the Cheesecake Factory. I went in there with some girl, and she was there with her girlfriend, and her girlfriend came in knocking on the door, and she's like, what are you guys doing here? I was like, what we're doing here. She's like, can I join? I was like, can she join? She's like, come on and join. So at a Cheesecake Factory.
At you.
That was awesome. I had sex with my last girlfriend in a movie theater, and it was really, really awesome because they have the big reclining seats now. It was actually the remake of A Boat, the one with Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell.
Overboard.
Overboard. It was the remake of Overboard. And that's the only thing I remember about the movie, was that we went to go see the remake of Overboard. I don't remember anything about the movie. But we were in there. But when I got done, I went back and I was all bragging about it to my buddies. And they're like, that you basically could have got brought up on, charges for sex
indecent exposure.
And been put on like this, the list. What the hell is that? The bad list.
Predators list.
The predators list. And I was like, for having consensual heterosexual sex in a movie theater, and they're like, yes.
We live in a very fucking prude country.
I mean, I don't see why you had to bring in heterosexual, but
yeah, that's true. You're absolutely right. But that's where I am. That's
40
where
lashes.
I go.
Yeah, but yeah, that's true.
Lashes.
We live in too much of a prudish country. That's for sure.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
What about you, Tess?
Oh, well, I've had sex in jacuzzis. You know about that.
Yeah, I got that on my list too.
Jacuzzis, yeah. So one time my husband and I went, there's a local park where it's like there's lights along the perimeter, but the inside of it's super dark. So he bent me over a picnic table. I had sex in the middle of the park. You couldn't see, it was dark in the middle of the park, so you couldn't see it. I had sex in a wash outside in some neighborhood, like one of those washes, like up a hill in a wash. And the sad thing was, I was coming back down. You mean like in
Greece, where they're racing in the wash?
What?
Yeah, but smaller than that. It was like it's like a small wash up on a hill, and I was coming back down, and I was in this like summer outfit, like really like
light cotton summer outfit, and I lost my footing and I slid down the hill on my leg, and I got like road rash all over the side of my body after it. So I got punished for that one.
I have a question.
Kevin, what's your question?
What's a wash?
Yeah, it's like a place where the water runs.
It's a big drain.
Comes down we have a lot of hills here, and it comes down the hill, comes down the mountain, and it drains out. Yeah, it's like a drain, like a cement drain.
Picture the movie Grease when Danny Zuko's racing.
I don't want to ever picture the movie Grease.
I think that's way ahead of his time, Brian.
You're a communist.
No, I've seen Grease 100 freaking times because my sister loves it. I hate that.
Mm-hmm.
So you're sick of it. Yeah. So it's just like a cement. It's like a cement thing on the side of a hill that drains the water. That's really all it is. Okay. So yeah, I think my adventures is more with people than places. I had
sex at my old school when I was my first job. I was a custodian when I first started working. So I used to bring these girls back to the school because I worked a midnight shift. So I was in a heavy metal band. So I'd bring all my band members back, and they'd bring these girl stuff. So we'd be in the teacher's lounge. We'd be on the nursing beds because of technical school. So we were all over the place inside the school. They didn't have cameras back then. So that was a lot of fun, too.
I was at a bar in Rahway, and this girl I was dating at the time, like, we were having a couple drinks after work one day, and she starts, like, rubbing the outside of my pants. By this point, I'm a little tipsy, and she's like, hey, let's drive off to a dark area, and we'll fool around a little bit. So we get into her car. She didn't want to drive, so she made me drive. So we pull around to this dark little area around, like, a creek or a river or whatever the hell it was.
A wash.
It wasn't a wash. It was natural. It wasn't concrete, Brian. So, we were having sex in her car, and then afterwards she's like, all right, let's drive back to the train station so you can catch the train. I start driving. I crash straight into a fucking mailbox.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
So I'm like, oh, shit. And I back up the car, and we get out, we look at it, and we're like, well, that mailbox is fucked. Get in the car, let's go. Hopefully nobody saw that.
Oh, shit.
Just drove to fucking
She was like, just like me.
And then I got on the train, went home. Man. Hopefully no one ever saw it.
That's funny. I was having sex.
I don't know if that's a sex story or a drinking story, but whatever.
Little of both. Little of both.
Yep. So I was having sex with this girl one time, and her boyfriend came home while I was having sex with her. So I ran into the closet, and they started having sex. And then when he got done and left, I went and finished.
Brian, I need to get this off my chest real quick. I think it's okay. Like, if you're with a girl and her boyfriend comes home, he has no right to get pissed off at you because you maybe not had any idea. Either way, you're not a part of that relationship. That's their problem, not yours.
It's on her.
Okay
I agree.
Go ahead and sleep with people in relationships.
I felt the same way at the time, honest to God.
After my divorce, I went back home for Thanksgiving, and I hooked up with this girl at the bar. We go back to her place. She's like, hold on. She ran to the bathroom, and then she's like, all right. And I'm like, well, let me use the bathroom as well. I go into the bathroom. There's a picture frame turned over, and then I look at it. It's a picture of her and her boyfriend. I'm like, you know what? It's not any of my business. I'm just gonna go to her room and do this for a little bit.
Yeah, I used to feel that way too.
Used to.
I feel I got a good woman now. I can't screw it up.
One place I've had sex in that, in the movies, it looks very romantic and so cool, but not real cool in real life is the woods. Because you get all this shit up your private area in your ass.
The sand, too.
Like,
the beach.
Yeah.
Same thing.
God, yeah. And
right?
it's not, for a woman, it's not cool, like when the guy puts you up on the tree and you have nothing on your ass and your ass is rubbing up against the bark.
Yeah.
During sex, that hurts.
But Monica, that's what I'm saying. You rookied this mistake out. This is all about the doggy style.
Yeah.
Wood sex is just doggy style. You can't be trying to try different
moves. Hands
moves.
against the tree and then
bend it over.
I didn't think about that. No, he just lifted me up.
You said your favorite position was doggy.
That's kind of hot too, though.
It is, but I also like being on top too. Especially
tell him the next time he goes out there to shave the bark off the tree and then plant it better, okay?
Yeah. And showers. I don't like showers either.
You don't like showers? Showers are kind of hot.
I started to have sex at my cousin's wedding.
Oh, geez.
Not with your cousin.
No, not.
Yeah, that sounded a little bit weird. I was gonna say the same thing.
Is it still sex if you don't finish?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Oh.
It is.
If you penetrate, it is sex.
Then yes, I had sex at my cousin's
Actually,
wedding.
I don't even think it takes...
Like, the bride's mother and sister walked in.
Oh.
Well, like, not to see it, because we were in, like, a stall, and then...
A horse's stall?
Yeah, a horse's stall, because they had on this nice little niche farm, and nice little boutiques and flower petals and, little water candles and shit.
I'm trying to set the mood, Kev.
Yeah. Well, what better place than...
I don't even think it's... I think it's still sex even if you don't penetrate. I mean, you can still do so many things that's still considered sex.
I disagree with that one, Tess. Sorry.
You can,
Sorry.
That's fine.
Yeah.
There's so many things you can do that
I
is still
agree.
considered sexual activity.
I would say sexual activity,
just not
but
sex.
I didn't have sex. Yeah, I need to penetrate.
That's a male perspective that sex requires penetration.
No.
It's not true.
Like,
it's not a male perspective.
Me, but I'm also younger and more woke than Brian, so.
But he's also probably half male too, so.
Another half chick.
He's zero chick.
Yeah.
Are there any places that you guys haven't had sex that you would like to have sex from an adventurous standpoint?
Ooh.
In the ocean. I've always wondered it was like to have sex in the ocean.
But Monica
I don't
really
know.
likes
We
the
might-
forest thing.
It sounds horrible.
It's horrible.
Salt
really.
water.
Going up inside of you like that? Ugh.
Not only that, I
no
figured
way. I'm
the
talking
waves
about
would knock us down.
Yeah, our penis is dangling like a worm. No, thank you very much. Appreciate that. No, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah,
Pick
like
another
an
one.
unexpected partner by a fish coming up going,
Unexpected
nice
partner.
threesome with a girl and a fish.
Hey, if it's a blowfish, does that count?
Hey, well, we did it.
Oh, that's a really good question. I don't know.
Monica's allowed to have her, her ideal thing. She's allowed.
No, it's okay. We're allowed to say, that's fucked up. And besides, I've had sex in the ocean, Monica, and I got to tell you, you guys don't, your vaginas don't respond too well to that salt water.
Yeah,
I would believe that. I would believe that.
It's not that.
What about the
easy.
pool? I've never had it in the pool. Is it just as bad?
I'm just gonna say water. Don't put water next to your stuff.
Okay, that's probably why I never liked it in the shower.
No, the shower's hot.
See,
Really?
I thought the shower was hot too, Tess, until I went down on someone. I drank a gallon of water. It was not
Water's
fun.
good for you.
Yeah,
Water
I know, but I was just
are
like,
good for you. Brian, water and pussy are good for you. Both of them.
Okay.
All right, anyway.
Fair enough.
I like combining sex with other things. Like, I watched fireworks while having sex one time, and it was really cool.
That's kind of romantic.
It's not a
That's
place,
like Love
but
American
it's like
style.
Like if you have sex while you're experiencing something else that's equally as cool, or maybe not equally, even less cool, it's kind of cool to combine two things.
I get it. Like Kev, like we could say like drinking a beer and getting a blowjob, right?
Right. Exactly what I'm talking about. Combining two things
Kevin
you love.
just said he doesn't like blowjobs.
No, I do like them. I just can't come from them.
Oh. That's what he said.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, no, it'll distract me from drinking the beer.
You can't do both?
Oh, jeez. Drinking the beer is more important than... Okay.
No, I didn't say I can't do both. I would just much rather do one thing more than the other.
Wait, did you say you'd rather drink a beer than get blown?
That's exactly what I heard.
I'm just saying if I am drinking a beer...
No, that's what he said.
That is what he said.
Yeah, should get that on a bumper sticker.
Beers over blowjobs?
I'd rather drink a beer than have you blow me.
See, that's too long. That's too long.
Put that on your dating profile.
You need to trademark that, Brian.
Yeah.
Has anybody else done that? Had sex while doing something else that was super cool?
Cooking.
Cooking? Well, that's kind of fun. That's fun. I can see that.
Yeah.
Totally.
It was a night. This is when I was down in Philly. She was cooking dinner and wearing it's summertime. She's wearing, a nice sundress. She's cooking. I come up, just start feeling around, lift up that skirt.
Yeah, I like that. That's actually a nice...
That is cool.
That's a good move.
That is cool.
I think one of the coolest things I ever did, I was playing cards at this girl's house I was dating. Well, I was married, so I don't know if I was dating her, but we were all playing cards and stuff like that around the table. She had all her friends there and stuff, and a couple of my buddies there, and they all left, and I was like, all right, last hand, and I'm going to leave. And I said to the girl, whoever wins this hand gets to decide what we do for the next like half hour of me being here. So the one girl,
shit.
Yeah, so it was me and these two other girls, these two Thai girls, and they were
Of course.
Yeah, I love my Asians. So anyway, we were playing this game, and the one girl who I was kind of seeing, her friend winds up winning the hand, and says, "I can't do because I'm married, but you do, and what you do is basically anything I tell you." So, and I'm sorry, I'm not doing that to be disrespectful. That's just how it was. I'm trying to set the mood.
Set the scene, Brian.
I'm not woke yet. So anyway, the point being is she tell me, okay, now you go down on her. No, from behind. Turn her around.
Whoa.
I had to do everything she said. And then when we started having sex, this woman, because she was married, said I can't do anything, but she could watch. But she would sit there, and as I was penetrating this girl, she literally would put her face right next to like the penetration and watch it. And then say, okay, now roll her over and do it this way. That was pretty friggin' awesome.
Wow.
Honestly, is anybody surprised by this story? It combines three of Brian's favorite things: Asians, gambling, and cheating.
Yes. Not surprised at all, Kev. Oh, it's a fact. Yeah, it was a fact.
Oh, touche,
I was bad,
right,
Kev.
Brian?
I was a bad boy.
Well, hopefully you've calmed down on the gambling.
You're on a roll, Kevin.
I actually calmed down on all three.
That is funny.
But it was a lot of fun.
Oh my gosh. Monica, is there anything you want to do that you haven't done? Where you want to do it?
Where I want to do it? I mean,
any places that would be really
well, she said the ocean,
cool.
but Monica, how about
that's
this?
right.
Oh, I don't think I answered this. But also, I don't think I have an answer.
I think that one day, if I ever get courage enough to do it, and if I did a 3-way, it would be with 2 men.
All right.
Oh, yeah. Monica, you gotta experience that.
Yeah. And if one of them looks like, different.
Adam
of them,
Driver?
like Adam Driver. And then Ben Affleck or, Alexander Skarsgård or Ben Affleck, like any combination. Yeah, like that.
So, Monica, you're telling me that you would let Adam Drive hit you from behind while you were blowing
Adam drive you
out like Skarsgård in the front. You would let them just own you like that.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, don't describe it that way.
Monica, in the moment, that's what you want.
It?
They're not owning me.
In the moment they are, and it's a good thing.
Monica's owning it. Like, she's going back and forth.
That's right, Monica. You're empowered in that
also,
moment, Monica.
How dare you shit on Monica for this when you've had threesomes, Brian?
I've had 5-somes, dude.
Me too. Best fun I ever had. Most fun I've ever had.
Now, wait a second. You two are related. You can't do that.
Well, we weren't at the same place.
I was going to say it wasn't together.
I don't know. We're both talking about having 5-somes, so...
Yeah, well, we didn't grow up in Ohio.
Yeah, no. Wasn't together. In fact, we weren't even in touch back then, were we, Brian?
No, we were not. But Monica, you would allow that to happen to you?
I don't know. But I think I would
Monica,
enjoy it if I did.
You would enjoy it and you would
like I said, I'm just very
reserved,
reserved, but I do like men a lot.
Okay. Monica would be like, okay, you sit on that stool.
You're reserved. I'm sorry. You are reserved in action, but not in desires.
Oh, yeah.
No,
Monica's got
she
a
is
very
not reserved
active
in
fantasy
desires.
life.
That's right.
That's
but
correct.
You know what? When you start putting some of those fantasies into reality, your whole perspective changes. It's pretty exciting.
I believe you.
It's true. I have my ex, you guys know the story already because I've told you this 1,000 times how it used to freak me out. But my ex-girlfriend likes to tell me, like, pull her hair and slap her and choke her to the point where almost she'd go unconscious. And I'd be like, I can't do this anymore. You're freaking me out. So, yeah, it's I got limits,
People
Monica.
like
I got
freaky
limits.
shit.
Yeah, I'm not all about that.
Yeah, that's all I needed. I say all the time, I feel like you're going to wind up with my handprints on you, and then you're going to go to the cops on me. So it was also a trust factor.
That's true. Got to be careful of that. All right, so let's talk about sexual acts. Anything crazy you've done or want to do? Sexual acts.
Oh, well, you guys already know my sexual acts. There's nothing I haven't done. I told you guys in the very beginning of life at this podcast, there's 2 things sexually I won't do, and I still don't know what they are.
You don't know what they are? Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll ride that wave until it crashes on me.
So you would take a dick in the mouth.
Hey, for the right price, for that $1 billion lottery ticket, I'd take 2 dicks in the mouth.
Yeah, he didn't really clarify that, did he?
Just the ticket, not the winning ticket, just the ticket.
Oh man, Demetrius just booked the flight.
Yeah. The silent one comes forward.
Maybe, well, all right, Demetrius. Maybe at least $1 million winner.
Oh my god.
And you got to share.
That's funny.
I mean, my sexual act would be what I just talked about with the two guys. The same thing. I don't have anything else that I think I would want to do.
Monica, you got to try it. I'm telling you.
Oh, I just have to find the right two guys.
Monica, we're at the age right now. You just go for it. We've been telling you this for so long. Go for it.
I agree. First of all,
yeah, but I get how she feels. I get how she feels about meeting the right two guys. I do. You don't want to do that with just anybody.
Yeah, I did. It's all the same. They all got the same equipment. They all got the same holes.
No, it's not that.
Ooh. When you guys are ready for it, I have a story to tell about a date I had. Well, it was a meetup, but when you guys are ready for it,
we're ready.
Let's go. Let's hear.
You want to hear it now?
Yeah.
So I went meet up with this guy I met online, and we went to have coffee, and he was pretty interesting. That's understating the fact. He described that he was a literal tree hugger. That he talks to the trees. And I love nature, okay? But I do not talk to trees.
We could tell by your tree story.
Yeah.
Good point, Kev.
Anyway, so we're talking and just bantering, and he says, all of a sudden he goes on, like, it's so boring that there only are the male and female sex. Think about life outside of the earth, if there is life, which there must be. He said, aliens probably have different gender, different sexes. Wouldn't it be cool to date an alien? And I'm just like, well, I guess. And he goes, can you imagine having sex with an alien? And I'm like, well, I said, I remember the movie Cocoon where the alien and the human had that experience, where like they touched and it was like a sensual experience. He goes, yeah, like that. He puts up his palms and he goes, you want to have a sensual experience right now? We were in the middle of a coffee shop with everybody surrounding us. The tables were full. There were kids in tables next to us, and he's holding up his palms. And I'm looking at him like, no.
So, Monica, for the record, an adventurous person would have clasped hands.
No. I just met this guy like 20 minutes ago.
And?
No.
It could have been the greatest lover of your life.
I don't know.
I'm really hoping you blocked his number.
Yeah.
That sounds like a cycle. 20 minutes in and he's talking about fucking aliens? Get out of here.
Well,
exactly.
I don't know if that's better or worse than the kiosk guy. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Based on the stuff that he was saying, I'm not sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
this guy was a trip. So, yeah, needless to say, I'm not seeing him again.
I'm just saying, Monica, sometimes you gotta just open up a little bit and try something new.
So you would have totally put your hands up and had the energy experience with this person.
I'm a guy. Do you want to know the bullshit I went through dating out here? I put up with a lot of shit. Of course I would have done that. I'd have classed them fuckers hard.
I don't know. He creeped me out.
Hey, Tess, come on. Is there a place that you've been dying to try other than one of those jacuzzi scenes?
Shit. Where have I been dying to try? I don't think so. No, for me, it's really more about, it's more about experiential sex, experimenting and experiencing different things. I can't think of a place that I haven't had sex that I really want to have sex. All right, so here's a question. I don't get into the thrill of getting caught. I like having sex. I love being an adult and being able to have sex whenever I want, wherever I want, but I don't get into the thrill of getting caught. Does anyone get into the thrill of getting caught?
Yes.
No, I do
when
not
I
get
was
into
younger, that. When I was younger, because I was always having sex in secret.
Yeah.
But not now.
Well, because it was what we said earlier. It was like taboo to have it when you're young, right?
Yeah. But now it's
Well,
like,
Kevin's the only one who really, truly likes the exhibitional type sex, right? I mean, you don't mind being outside.
No. Like, one of my biggest fantasies is for me to be with a girl and then have, like, be with a woman and have another woman just watch.
Oh,
like
shit.
Brian's
That's easy.
experience.
That's hot.
Easy.
Yeah.
See, with age comes its privileges, Kev.
I have a massive bit of voyeur in me, so I find that hot.
It's starting to, the view is starting to narrow.
No, I'm telling you.
Wait.
Your view is not narrowing. You don't understand how wide it's going to be, because women when they get older are willing to do a lot more.
Yes.
Trust me.
Agreed. I second
You're
that.
okay.
Wait,
okay.
how's it getting narrower, Kevin?
Well, I just feel that women my age, and I've had a lot of good luck with the women that I've been with. They may not be as experienced in the things that I like, and it's like, I feel if you're going to be with somebody, you should match sexually, and like, even if you're not into this thing that your partner's into, they should at least give it a go, just to try it out. And like, if you truly believe that this is your person, all right, for you, I'm going to try this. Like, I've been able to open a lot of women up to, not a lot, I've been able to open women up to a lot of different experiences as far as like their sexuality, and they never, oh, I've never had my butthole licked. All right, well, let's try that. And then I do it, and they're like, that was fantastic.
Oh, shit.
I absolutely, now they're starting to ask me for it,
That's what you and I were talking about, Brian.
Yes, exactly.
So,
trying new things. Yep.
Yeah, trying new things. Yeah.
Yeah. And I've been fortunate in that case. It didn't work out, but,
you got to lick a butthole. That's what matters.
I love eating ass.
I think that's really relevant. I mean, women, not just women, people in general, they don't know what they don't know. And a lot of people don't know to try new shit. And if you try new stuff, you can break new ground.
Say, don't knock until you try it.
That is very true.
Age-old expression. Totally true.
Hope she didn't say it in the same room you were with that girl with.
No. She knocked on the wall of the shared bedrooms and screamed it to me.
Oh my goodness.
You think my mom was progressive?
But you're right, Tess. We did talk about that, and you definitely need to open your mind, not just about sex, about everything.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Kev.
I have to take it back to the weirdest place.
Okay.
Go ahead.
In the butt.
Yes.
So,
in the butt.
It does involve that, yes. It was the very first time that I did that to a woman. I was dating this girl, and
for a woman.
Did you say for a woman, Tess?
I did.
That's awesome. Love that.
Sorry, just my 2 cents.
Yeah, you said to a woman.
You said I did it to a woman, and I said you mean for a woman.
For a woman.
Yeah, all right, for a woman.
You chauvinistic pig.
God, these fucking liberals over here.
Bite your tongue.
Oh, that's funny. So yeah, go ahead, talk about it.
She got kicked out of her place. Well, she was staying with some friends because she'd just broken up with her like baby daddy at the time, and then so she was staying at some friends of my parents, and then she got kicked out of there because they were the friends were fighting all the time. My parents were like, "Oh, we have an extra room. You can move in." And so my dad's like, "Well, if your girlfriend's moving in, you're moving in." I'm like, "I got an apartment." He's like, "I don't fucking care." So she moves in with her 6-month-old child.
Oh, God.
And the crib is in the room with her, and we're living in the same room. So we go outside to smoke a cigarette, and she sits on, there's a cooler outside, and she sits on it, and there's water on it, and she's like, fuck, got my jeans all wet. And I'm like, nah, damn, now you gotta go upstairs and take them off and jerk me off with your butt cheeks. And she's like, okay. So
she's like, okay.
So we go up there, and we start doing that. So we go up there, but her son is sleeping in the crib. And so we're doing this quietly. And then she's like, just be careful. We're doing it for a little bit. And she's like, be careful because I'm afraid of it going into my butt. Which is okay. Just let me know if you're going to do that. And I'm like...
You were confused,
that's an option?
Right? You were so confused at this point.
I was.
But now you're fully erect at the idea of it, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. As soon as she said that, I'm like, well, can I do it? And she's like, grab the baby oil. Oh, yes! Oh, yes!
It's going to feel so much better than my hand. Go ahead.
So now I'm having anal sex for the very first time. But then I get that first whiff of...
The smell.
Poo-poo.
Baby oil?
Mm-hmm.
And
baby oil,
Brian. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
The friction is so much that the baby oil is starting to catch.
Oh
no, I'm talking about shit, Brian.
See, I've had a lot of anal sex. Well, I've done for them.
Yes.
But I've never had that issue. Ever.
Right, so let me finish my story and I'll get back to that.
Okay.
So I start to get the whiff. I'm starting to get the smell of it, and it's like, oh, this is unarousing. But then I remember that I'm having anal sex. So, like, I start to go down because of the smell, but then I start to rise up because of the action. And then I was like, oh, where do you want me to come? The sexiest thing I've ever heard in my life. She says, come in my ass. I was like, oh!
Yes,
you're like,
that is very true. To hear that is very true.
But I did go to the bathroom to clean up, and then she comes in the bathroom, and she's like, we shouldn't have done that because I've been constipated. Like, I haven't shit in 2 days.
Oh, shit.
Damn.
And I broke it loose.
Oh.
You broke it loose. Oh, man.
Yeah, but
I hope that's not the only
was
reason
able to
she
make
said
it
yes.
Oh, jeez.
So I have 2 points to that
man.
story. Like,
Damn.
So I dated that girl out in California for 2.5 years. She had a newborn. And you said the baby was in the crib. I used to have sex with her with the baby in the bed with us.
Yo, no, that's disgusting,
Yeah.
Brian.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, that kid is going to be so used to when that earthquake hits in California because he was bouncing all over the bed all the time and everything like that. But I have a question for you, Kev, when it comes to anal, when you did it.
Yes, it is considered a threesome.
So for me... Oh, yeah, that's funny because never mind, I won't get into that. But anyway, so when you were having anal, okay, when you broke the magic seal, right, into the rectum, right, did you find it pleasurable after that other than the mental part of it? Because for me, I felt like when I have anal sex, see, for me, when I have anal sex, like once you break the seal, there's a whole lot of nothing in there. It's not like a beautiful vagina.
It's a hollow cave.
Well, here's
It's a hollow cave. Yes, it's just like, hello,
Right.
you know.
But it's the seal that's just going back and forth on it, and that's what it feels different and it feels good.
It's kind of like being squeezed around your
exactly
like
right.
being squeezed
Exactly.
around
Right.
your.
I get it.
Going in
I
and
get
out,
that, but like that means you got to come almost all the way out and almost all the way. It's kind of frustrating. So I don't know. I mean,
So
it's
you're
cool
not big into
because
anal.
I'm not big into it. You know, if the woman says, I love that, then absolutely I will do that. But then is it like my first choice? You're right though, Kev. I will say, the first time somebody says, you can have sex in my butt. Yes, it's a hoorah moment and fireworks are going off and it's just the whole mental thing like, oh my God, I'm sticking my penis in someone's butt.
It's taboo.
Okay. It's taboo, right? It's cool, but when you do it a couple times.
I mean, I don't think it's taboo in this age, but.
Well, it's not.
True.
Yeah, it's not the same as
Women
vaginal
of my,
sex.
a lot of women in my generation, they've done that. They're like, that's no big deal.
It's the deviance of it that makes it desirable.
I agree with that.
For a
And
woman, I
you,
can only
Kevin,
speak.
too.
I can only speak
Yes.
from a woman's perspective. It's the deviance of it that makes it desirable. But if man doesn't know what he's doing, it doesn't feel good at all for a woman. Man has to know what he's doing.
Well, when I was dating this girl,
I'm like, you mean a man just needs to know to put it in your ass?
No, it's not about that. It's about
he has
knowing
to know how to.
That's right. He has to the woman has to be relaxed and the man has to know how to take it slow and make sure he knows when she's relaxed enough to enjoy it. If you don't give a shit about her pleasure, then no, there's no right way to do it. But if you give a shit about her pleasure, there's a right way to do it.
Thank you for breaking that down.
You're welcome.
I was dating a girl after my divorce, and she was very much into it. And so that first time, that was years before the next time I was able to do it, which was with the girlfriend after my divorce. And she kind of, taught me how to do it correctly, to where I'm not overly excited and just like acting like a dog, like hammering it.
Yeah.
And
it's a different
she's like, no,
experience.
you gotta take it slow. These are, very tight muscles.
You gotta let her get used to it.
I usually let them back into me. Like beep,
also, it was the
beep,
second
beep.
date that she was like, let's do anal. It's like, fucking second date, Jesus.
That's
love you.
awesome.
She must be into it.
I'm surprised you didn't marry her, Kevin.
You had anal with this girl before you had vaginal?
No. I hooked up with her on the first date.
Okay. So yeah, vaginal, then went right to anal. That's progression. Nice. Good move.
Yeah, we went out for, it was St. Patty's Day weekend, and we met up for the first date. I stayed at her place because I was like, oh, I got to take train back to New Jersey. And she's like, or you could just stay at my place. All right.
Nice.
And the very next week, she was like, well, let's
have anal.
Let's
skip my mouth and go right to my butt.
I'm gonna get on all fours. Can you just please, take this lube and put it in my butt?
Jeez, you guys.
I'm sorry. This is why, Monica. See, this is why I'm 2.5 chicks, right? When you put another guy in there, it kind of pulls me back into the whole guy thing.
Dude thing.
He's throwing me off. Kevin's throwing me off my game.
Today definitely was 2 chicks, 2 guys.
No 2.5
I'm so
chicks.
sorry.
That's okay.
Right.
Oh, that's okay.
That's okay.
That's
It's
all
been
right.
fun.
We can hold our own.
Where was I
We're
getting
good.
with that?
I think you've been drinking too much, Kevin.
I literally had 2 beers, Monica.
Oh, okay. That's nothing. Okay.
Cool your
Well,
tits.
no, that's not true, Monica. True alcoholics, when they have 2 beers the next day, it just continues the buzz. There they are. And I saw you had a bottle
and
before,
High
too.
Life.
Yeah, exactly. High life. Oh, God, Kevin, you need to get a job.
Have a job.
Get a better one.
I need a better one.
All right. Well, I'd like to say thanks to Kev for coming on to the show and being our very first guest ever on 2.5 Checks.
You
Way to
were
go,
awesome, Kevin. You were awesome.
It was a lot of fucking
more
fun.
Stories I would tell.
You know,
Thank
we'll have
you
you back
for-
on.
Well,
I'm gonna talk about the time that I hooked up with a girl and got chlamydia.
Yeah, you know what? You're behind the times, dudes. Come on, I've already talked about
I'm
that.
gonna talk about the time I had sex with an Instagram witch influencer.
oh, jeez. Oh, God.
Save it for a next episode.
Yes.
Well, I'll come back anytime.
Yeah, I was just gonna say
You
you
got
just
it.
have to come back.
Yep, we loved
Awesome.
having you here.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
Anytime
so-
that you need good old Unky Drunky's word on something, just give me a call.
Unky Drunky, that's awesome.
He's Unky Drunky, but I just call him Drunk Kevin. I always tell Demetrius, is Drunk Kevin going to be on?
So
Sorry.
I would say I'm
color-
drinking. I'm not always drunk.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, Tess, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say a colorful conversation with 2.5 chicks and special guest Kevin, and
This was fun.
it was very fun. Yeah, absolutely, and definitely got some real honest and gritty conversation going, which is what we like to do best.
That's what alcohol does, Tess. It brings it out of all of us.
Oh shit, I don't even feel the alcohol.
You're empty.
Yeah.
Yeah, in so many ways, Kevin.
Well, you can feel full if you want to take 2 fingers and apply it to the amount of bourbon you're having, or put them somewhere else.
Got it. Thanks for the advice.
Thanks for the motion.
All right.
We're 2.5 chicks signing off until next time.
Later.
We want to thank Kevin for coming on our show today and helping us create a great one. We also want to shout out and thank our producer, Dee. Without him, this whole thing wouldn't even be possible. To our listeners, was it good for you? If it was, please stay connected and help us spread the word about our podcast. You can find us on Instagram at 2.5 chicks. You can also email us at 2.5chickspod@gmail.com. We're always looking for good sex topics and new guests to come on the show and talk to us about them, challenge us, laugh with us. Are you interested in being a guest? Because if you are, please email us. We can definitely make that happen. Make sure you always are checking back soon. We can't wait, and we hope you can't wait either.